Now, I want you to learn about iterations. Now, what do we mean by iteration? These are loops. And what do we mean by looping? It's when something happens multiple times in a row. So you write one piece of code and it's executed as many times as you wish, depending on the number you put in the instruction right on top. So what am I talking about? Let's say you want to print a string that says hello. You want to print it 100 times. Now, you can just start and do debug.log and put hello, right? You can put hello like this, and you can do that 100 times. How would you do that? You would just take this and print it again and again and again and again 100 times. But as you can see, this is time consuming and this is not very nice, right? I'm sure you're sure that there's a better way, right? And there is. So let's learn about loops. It's called a for loop. So for, we're going to create a new value. So for from a number, so we're going to start at, let's say, 1. So for int index is equal to 1, index is less or equal to 100. So basically we're going to go from 1 to 100. So that's going to be 100 times. And we're going to increase by 1 I or index plus plus, meaning that every time we run this, we increase the index. Now open and close a curly brace, and let's write inside of this. What are we going to write? Debug.log hello. So inside of this, put debug.log hello. So this is going to run 100 times because that's what we put here. So save this, Command S or Control S, there's a shortcut. Go back to Unity, and now press play. And look at the console. There you go. You have hello 100 times. Now, obviously, this doesn't do much, but know that this is a great way to spawn enemies. You know, sometimes in a game you want to spawn enemies. The only thing that you have to change is the position of the enemy. So you can have really a field full of enemies really easily by just using that. Now, you may be wondering how to spawn enemies. You can use the Instantiate method that already comes with so Instantiate. That's an action that already exists to be able to display another object. But we're not going to get into this because this is a bit beyond the learning curve here. All right. Now, the great thing about this is that you can change that to, instead of 100, you can do 5 or 10 or 20,000. That's really up to you here. So you can just print that 5 times. Save that, go back to Unity, and let's press play again. And here you go. Hello, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Okay? So as you can see, that's it. All right, let me clear this. And now, the next thing we want to learn, it's about a different way to do that. Now, don't worry about it. It's called a while loop. And it's okay if you need to use the while loop, but some programmers use the while loop, so it's good to know. I'm going to remove this. But the way I'm going to remove this is just to comment it out by adding a \* and at the end of it I add a *\, meaning that all of this is commented out. The Unity engine will not touch this. Now let's create a while loop. Let's create an int index is equal to 1. Alright, and now let's do while the index is less than 6. So as long as it's less than 6, what do? We going to print debug.log, let's say index is less than 6. So we are printing the index, this sentence. That's going to be 5 times. All right, so now we need to do index is equal to index plus 1, meaning that the index will be itself plus 1. So every time you go inside of this while loop, the index gets a value of 1 on top of this. So it starts at 1, then it becomes 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, then 6. As soon as it's 6, this condition is not met anymore because the index is not less than 6. The index will be 6. So it won't run this code and it will keep going. Okay, so that's how it works. Save this. By the way, feel free to come back to this lecture. These are the fundamentals of programming, not just C#, but many other languages, Swift, Java, JavaScript, and so on. So definitely, you gotta learn this. Save this, go back to Unity, and press play again so that it fires the start. And now look at the console. It says index is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Perfect. Now, I want to show you something even better. On top of this, I'm going to put index is, and I'm going to put the value of the index. Remember earlier we said index plus, let's put index dot toString, and open and close the parentheses for the toString. Now that you do this, it's going to print the value of the index. Save this, go back to Unity, press play, and now look at the index. There you go, index is 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5. And as you can see, it doesn't print 6 because at 6, it does not meet the condition and it stopped there. It does not meet this condition. All right, that's it for now.